friend, welcome again to this channel, and we are telling ourselves that we will blossom despite. Okay, and this is the part 2 of our series. And last week we looked at the bruise of rejection. We are looking at childhood bruises, and today we are going to be looking at a different bruise. And we told ourselves that the lives we live today, the way we show up in the world, mostly it's related to some things that we may have gone through in our childhood that we even maybe don't remember. But when we choose to do the work of healing and we go back into those places in our childhood, we're able to cite them and we're able to call them out. And we are able to walk through the painful journey of healing. And we are telling ourselves that we can heal from the childhood bruises. So today we are going to look at a different bruise, and we are going to look at a guy called Ethan. As I said, the names I use, these are not true stories. These are not real people. It's people I've created. And we'll be looking at the life of Ethan today. And we'll then walk with Ethan back into his childhood. And we are going to pick a bruise that he went through. And his bruise is the bruise of control. Okay? That's how he's showing up in the world. And so let's meet Ethan today. Ethan is a high-performing guy. You know those guys? High-performing. If you want something done, this is the guy to go to. He's so reliable. But secretly, he's battling because he's exhausted. Ethan will be that person who will not be able to say no when asked to do a task. People love him. People love asking him to do things. Actually, at his workplace, he's found himself going up the ladder through promotions because of his reliability. But deep inside this guy is a pain, and he always feels that he has to control everything. To him, control is survival. At work, he manages every detail. When he's given a task, he manages everything. He would rather not sleep, but make sure that he sees every detail of the assignment that he has given to him. And to him, this control is not out of pride. It's out of fear. And the question he asks is, what if it falls apart? It will all be my fault. So what if I do not do it? Then who else can do as well? Or the best that I know it should be done. And so despite the applauses and everybody cheering him on, and everybody coming to him so that he can help them, Ethan is dying in the inside. He's so exhausted. So I'm imagining now Ethan would walk into my counseling room, and I will take him back on a journey to his past and ask him, where do you think all this started, Ethan? When did you start feeling that you have to be in control of everything? And he flashes back, he would flash back and will remember himself growing up. At home, the kind of family he came from, there were very rigid rules. There were no room for mistakes. His dad, who was a professor at a university, he was so strict, and every time they were given assignments, the dad would just be after, why have you not achieved this? Like, they had to perform. They had to have the right grades. And Ethan learned that love is earned. Love is not freely given. Okay? Because when he would bring papers at home and it's reading exceeding expectation, but it is a 97%, the dad would be like, where are the 3? Why couldn't you get 100%? So instead of getting an applause from the dad because he got exceeding expectation, the father would be more concerned about why didn't you get these marks? As I'm talking, this could be speaking to you as a child or you as a parent. We are not here to point fingers, but we are here to look at inside of us. It could be you are that parent that instead of seeing a half full glass, you are always seeing the half empty glass. When your child brings those grades, maybe you're the parents who ask, why didn't you get everything? Why couldn't you get, all the marks? And this was Ethan. He always knew, okay, for me to be loved in this home, I have to earn it by performing. And this now became his tool. He knew for me to be loved. So even the applauses from his colleagues, he was telling himself, they're loving me because I'm doing, because I'm able to do all that they're expecting me to do. The dad saying the half glass, that is criticism because he's criticizing him for not performing. And this criticism came to him faster than the comfort he needed. At times, maybe when he's not performing or he's down, he would need comfort, or even for the subject that he was failing, he would need a pat on the shoulder and the dad to tell him, my son, I love you and I know you did your best. I know maybe the exam was tough, but the criticism was much stronger, was speaking to him more than the comfort that he needed. And for Ethan, perfection was equal to approval. Letting go was equal to rejection. And so he used to cling to control as an armor. But you know what? The armor that he held on, even as you see him at the workplace, became a cage. He would hide inside that cage. The project that he would be given, instead of asking people to help him, became that place that he hid and wanted to show a front that I'm handling it. And so a cage put him in and people would not come in to rescue him. And so he was dying in the inside. Then this led to anxiety. It led to a lot of loneliness because instead of hanging out with his friends when he needs to at the weekend, he would be working so hard and so that he can show up having finished the project that he needed to. And it also led to burnout. So control becomes a cage built from fear. Okay? But can I tell you the truth of this? Is that control isn't about capability. It's about fear. It's about fear of failure. When we see these guys running up and about and doing everything, imagine it's fear that is driving them. I'm sorry to say that. It's fear because they feel I'm not enough. I have to do this and then show up like I have got it all together. So it's fear that is usually driving them. And can I tell you, for Ethan to go through a path of healing, he has to come to a place that he knows, one, he doesn't have to give up on what he does. Because giving up would mean everything stops and things would go bad. But it means choosing to trust over tension. Choosing trust over tension. Choosing to trust other people instead of the tension of what if I delegate? What if these people are not good enough? But he can choose to delegate. He can choose to trust instead of having a lot of tension of what will go bad. My friend, you don't have to carry it all. That's why we have a community around us of people who can walk beside us, of people who can help us carry the burden or carry the load that we have to, okay? Then this has to start from a place of trusting other people. And remember, as I always say that, Ethan has to challenge the belief that for him to be loved, he has to earn it through performance. He has to know that he can collaborate with others, and then all of them can celebrate victory at the end of it all. And can I tell you, there's nothing like perfection. It doesn't mean that if I do it my way, then it will be perfect. There's nothing like perfection. It's a lie. So Ethan has to learn to release so that he can be able to trust others, so that he can be able to enjoy life. He can go on weekends and just enjoy his weekend without worrying that he hasn't finished all those steps. So for Ethan, his first step would be to ask for help. He has to choose to delegate. He has to choose to trust others. He has to know that he doesn't have to earn acceptance, that he should know that him being in the world, he's enough. He doesn't have to do everything to be accepted. I know that saying I need help, especially to people with that personality, it's something I myself have had to work on myself. You feel so vulnerable asking for help. It's vulnerability to ask for help. But you have to get to that point of telling yourself, well, how bad can it turn out if I ask people to help me? Whose life is at risk? If it's a project, if we don't do it the way it should, it doesn't turn out the way we expect, then it's giving us room to improve. Okay? And this now will be the beginning of freedom. Asking for help, trusting others more, and then just taking life as it comes. So for Ethan, my call to you, or whoever that you feel that you've been having that bruise of control because of your childhood, how you were raised, how the people around you, you learned to earn their love or their approval because of performing, because of doing it all by yourself. Kindly, just drop it. You can't do everything by yourself. You'll crash. My friend, you die young and you need you around. So just learn to let go, learn to trust others, learn to delegate, and this is going to ease the burden on you. And as I finish, I'll tell Ethan, I'll let you know through the Bible verse from the book of Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5 and 6, and it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, and in all your ways, in everything, acknowledge him, and he will straighten your paths. This, my friend, is where we start, that we can trust God. Sometimes we just have to throw hands in the air and tell God, I can't do it alone. I've tried, it's not working. I give it to you. I surrender to you. And from that place, when you know that God is holding you and he's guiding you, and he doesn't applaud you just when you do right, he loves you just as you are, you can tell yourself that I'll trust you, God, and I'll not lean on my own understanding. And also tell him, help me to trust the people around me. Everything doesn't have to be on a straight line. There's nothing like perfection. So that's where we end it for today. So we have looked at the bruise of control, and I call to you that if this has defined you for a very long time, let go, trust more, live freer, and life will be worth living. Okay? So I invite you again. Let's keep chatting. You can write in the chat box, and we can continue discussing what are these bruises from your childhood? What are the bruises that have been controlling me all this time? Has the bruise of control been part of your life? And then we can walk through the journey of healing and see how you can come out of it. And let's rewrite our stories. They don't have to define us. What we went through doesn't have to define us. We can write our stories and live a happier life. Thank you so much. Until next time, bye-bye.